So NIO stock is near 52-week lows, and the Hong Kong shares of NIO stock is near all-time lows. It is an understatement to say that we are in some of the darkest hours as NIO investors. All right, what's gone wrong? We got some more information about the drop cuts. So yesterday I posted a very good informative video about the battery swap, the problems it solves. It's more like a commercial almost. And one of you guys did say that at this point, investors should chime out a few bucks to, get me to run ads for the company. Well, some of you guys think this idea is smart. Some of you guys think this idea is completely dumb. NIO wasn't shy of having these dark hours. Back in 2019, when NIO was struggling on the verge of bankruptcy back then, all right, a lot of NIO owners did chime in, and they placed lots of ads for NIO, even big billboard ads on hotels, at train stations, to basically advertise for the company, for the better good. And so I'm thinking about doing this as well. I'm going to do it. I've already decided. All right, I'm going to be doing it. And I'll probably start off with like 100, 200 bucks, throw it at YouTube ads, see how it goes. And if you guys want to chime in and boost that up a little bit, sure, go ahead. I'm not forcing you guys to, donate or anything. I mean, it's at your will. You want to help NIO out, do some promotion, do some ads, sure. You don't want to, no big deal. All right, not holding anything against you guys. So if you guys want to chime in, sure, go ahead. Patreon's right there. $1 is enough, maybe $5 max. It would be better if you just went ahead and bought a NIO, but obviously not everybody could, straight up buy a NIO. And as I expected, that video that I posted yesterday, it was one of the best videos I've ever made, to be honest. But it's not getting any traction, of course, because you guys already know the benefits of battery swap. You guys already know everything. To be honest, you guys are not the core audience that video was targeted to. That video should be targeted at the European people that are on the fence about which EV to buy. And that's where I'm planning to push this video to, and these ads towards that group of audience. All right, so that's what I'm planning to do. Because one thing you see is that there's people that reviewed NIOs on YouTube, all right, big EV channels, big auto review channels, but they don't really talk about the 9 advantages of battery swap. They don't even know about that, and that's a big problem. They're looking at it just like a car, and to be honest, NIO is so much more than a car, right? You guys, we all know that NIO is so much more than a car. It's not fair to look at NIO just like a car. All the extra stuff, the reasons why people here in China are buying a NIO is also the reason why Europeans should be buying a NIO. Battery swap, the advantages of battery swap, etc. But nobody's talking about that except me. So it's pretty important to push that video out there. You guys are pretty tired of seeing NIO stock down every day, down, down, down. I'm pretty tired. I get sleepless nights as well. And we got some information about the job cuts. Apparently it's more than 10%, according to people that got cut. All right, this is according to people that got cut. The fact of the matter is it's more around 20%, closer to 20% for certain departments. One of the person that got cut said that this was all very unfortunate that NIO came to that point. One thing that they do have to commend NIO is for the fact that even though they're getting cut, the compensation is still, the severance pay is still fantastic amongst the entire industry. They get paid like 3 months of extra salary, which is pretty amazing. And even in the stores, I'm seeing a lot less sales reps. Some of the very old sales reps definitely still there. They're well-performing sales reps. Some of the newer ones and some of the not so new ones not doing that well, they get cut off. And look, this is NIO cutting losses, all right? Cutting losses, it's almost like a stop loss in a sense. Because in their minds, they were expecting deliveries to keep on increasing, and July would be just the start. That 20,000 would not be the peak, but just the start. And Q3, Q4 deliveries, it used to be Q3 and Q4 would see higher deliveries than Q3, and that's just the way it is, right? Q4 you would see higher deliveries. They had that in mind, and they thought, oh my God, we're getting 20,000. We're gonna keep this momentum on. We're gonna build the sales force with the capacity to get 30,000 sales per month. That's what they said. They were very bullish back then, but reality is kind of hard. And then last but not least, there's that rumor going around that NIO's launching the single motor ET5. Yes, I've heard plenty of rumor that that's going to happen. I've heard rumors that this will be non-LiDAR variant single motor, but apparently this picture of it having two Orin X chips at a price of 198k RMB, that's just not going to happen. All right, maybe after BAS, but before BAS, no. 198k, no. Probably 268k, and then with BAS minus 70k RMB, then you get 198k. That would be a sweet spot. But directly 198k, and that's without BAS. And if you slap on BAS, that puts the price down at 128k RMB. That's way too cheap. That's not going to ever happen. No, that's not going to happen. So that is completely bonkers fake. All right, I talked to the NIO owner of 23 NIOs, and I bumped into him the other day, and we talked a little bit. He said one of the core fundamental problems with the Chinese auto industry right now is the fact that they don't look at what materials the cars are made of, the guts of the car. Like in the West, if somebody takes apart the car, and then there's a very big interest in modding cars, changing the engine up and doing all that kind of stuff, what material is used in each car, and that's hugely popular. But in China, that is not the case, because for the longest time ever, Chinese auto companies, all right, this is not saying NIO, not NIO, all right, traditional Chinese auto companies have been just copying the West in terms of engine and all that kind of stuff. And they don't want people to be comparing the guts of the car. So that's a very huge problem, because it's become like culture. People don't look at the guts of the car that much. And it's not as important as some of the other flashy things like a comfortable seat and big screens, that kind of stuff. And he told me, here in China, a lot of those content creators that make videos taking apart cars, they barely get that many views compared to people that just test drive and share their experience and how they feel about the car. Those get a lot more views than people that take apart cars. And that's a core fundamental problem with the Chinese auto market here in China. Part of that has led to the fact that a lot of the competitors, they cut cost here and there, quality here and here, and they just make things flashy. Oh, you got AI in the car, you got you can voice activate the car from outside, do all sorts of flashy stuff, a lot of BS stuff. And the car itself, the technology inside the car is like the actual car itself, all right, in terms of drivetrain and everything, just very basic, very rudimentary, but it still gets a lot of sales. So I see why a lot of you guys are saying, why is this and this company selling so well? They should not be selling so well. That is the problem. That is what you don't understand. The people have been raised pretty much to turn a blind eye towards the guts of the car, because it's just how everything has been. Don't look at the guts of the car. So here you have NIO that's not super flashy on the inside of the car, but very good guts, right? The motors and everything, material of the car, very good. People that understand cars will know this is a fantastic car to buy, but people that don't understand cars might get fooled to buy some other stuff. And that's a very big problem. And it's not a problem that can be easily solved unless you have advertising. And this is the other thing that I was thinking about doing, pushing some ads here in China as well. So no pressure, but if you guys want to contribute, Patreon is over there in the link down below. If you're on the fence about it, then just don't contribute, all right? All right, as always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.